Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. And Wargaming just revealed Tier 11 mediums on their home portal. And just like yesterday, they have a video that will be able to spill all. So without further ado, let's take a look to see exactly what the Tier 11 mediums coming on Wednesday on the EU server and Monday on the Asia server we have to look forward to.
Update 2.0 is almost here.
It is.
The game will introduce 16 Tier 11 vehicles. We've already taken a look at the heavy tanks. Now it's time for the mediums.
Oh, look at those beauties.
You're about to meet 5 versatile warriors, each forging their own way to victory.
The Leopard.
The CS67 Szakal
Szakal
charges into the heat of battle, changing speed modes from turbo to engagement as it goes.
What? It's too fast.
It makes use of a gun
Okay,
with good
let's take a look at the stats very quickly. That's something that I can figure out. Stats. So 430 Alpha, big upgrade over the CS63. 280 Standard Pen and 340 Gold Pen, massive upgrade. That's really going to butcher kind of like tier 10 armor. 2,200 hit points, the new standard. I think the CS63 had 2,000 as far as I can remember. 55 top speed, 15 reverse speed. Remember, that'll be outside of the travel mode. Accuracy 0.35, not too bad. Reloading time of 8.9 seconds. But this tank's ability will change that. But DPM-wise, that means that we are now packing 2,900 base DPM. That is a scary thing. A scary thing. And 9 degrees of gun depression means that this is more flexible than ever. Interesting that they haven't increased the view range of any of these tier 11s so far. I don't believe any of them are increased. But yeah, cool stuff for the Szakal, or however I was meant to say it. I've already forgotten.
Angles to reach its prey. Sometimes it can even deflect a return strike. And when things get serious, the Szakal bares its fangs.
So I guess that's Polish for jackal, is it? Show us.
Each mode has its own energy bar that fills while the mode is active. The higher the level, the greater the boost to the tank's characteristics.
What's it going to do? Rate of fire increase?
Pressing E lets you reset the bar to temporarily gain the maximum boost from your selected mode. It'll come in handy in critical moments.
Whoa.
This way, the Szakal can either move even faster or fire even more effectively.
Wow. That seems quite confusing for me at the right now, but I think it'll be a lot more simple than I'm thinking about it. So it looks like you can either use its bar that it fills up to be able to get like a turbo boost, or it looks like you'll be able to fill the bar to be able to use as like a damage boost and a gun handling boost, maybe. The all-purpose medium.
Strengths you need most depending on the situation. At the right moment, it could turn the tide of battle.
Speed.
If you build up energy in advance and act quickly, you can use 2 boosts in a row. But taming the Szakal won't be easy. Master its mechanics, hone your skills,
Wow.
and make the beast's fangs even more dangerous with
This is terrifying. You know, the CS63 is arguably the most competitive tier 10 medium for very good players. Wargaming seemingly have want to give it quite a complicated mechanic at tier 11. This thing could be terrifying in the hands of a competitive player.
the new progression. Every Tier 11 vehicle has its own upgrade system. And after fully upgrading a vehicle, you'll be able to unlock new customization elements for free.
Looks like Wargaming really want to flesh that out to make it obvious. What's next? It's not the T110E5, that's for sure. What's this?
The Leopard 120 Verbessert is a major modification of the most sniper medium tank in the game.
Wow.
It enhances the tank's specialization, arming it
How
with
so?
a 120...
Ooh, Leopard stats, Leopard stats, Leopard stats. 450 Alpha. That is the new Alpha King at tier 10 so far. 450. Although, actually, I tell a lie, because I think the concept is getting 460, I believe, at tier 10. But the 450 is impressive at tier 11. Should do a quick DPM check. DPM is going to be 60 divided by 9.3 times by 450. 2,900. That's the same as the Szakal by the looks of it. Brutal. 340 pen, most likely to be APCR. I'm not sure if it will be heat. Maybe it will be heat. Not sure yet, but 289 standard pen, that's disgusting. 65 forwards, 23 backwards looks very much like a Leopard to me. It looks like it might be a little less accurate than a Leopard if you decide to take the 5% accuracy field mod. But yeah, that rate of fire is great. 9 degrees of gun depression, the same 410 view range. I believe that's the same. That actually... maybe this is just my knee-jerk reaction. Those stats look a little underwhelming for me with regards to how the vehicle performs apart from the firepower. So it looks like it is basically going to be a Leopard with better firepower. That's my knee-jerk reaction.
Millimeter gun and an advanced fire control system.
How is the ability going to work?
This Leopard really is Verbessert.
Show us.
When the vehicle is stationary or moving at less than 20 kilometers per hour, it builds up a bonus to accuracy and stabilization.
So let me clarify. While the guy said less than 20, it actually looks like it's less than 30 with the upgrades. So a little bit of a miscommunication there. But looks like you can go at 30 with the upgrades, 20 without the upgrades.
For the next shot. It increases your accuracy from very good to the very best. Moving again at any speed.
That was a little bit confusing because it didn't really show the reticle getting that much smaller, but maybe that was just a visual thing.
Doesn't reset the bonus. It only resets after firing, then starts accumulating again. You can start preparing your next bonus right as you reload. When the Leopard reaches its full accuracy bonus, it doesn't matter who the target is, or how far away it is, or how well it tries to hide its weak spots. It will be eliminated. If you want to crunch some armor in a medium tank,
just a knee-jerk reaction for the Leopard 120. Obviously, it'll be very nice to have that great firepower and that great accuracy, but I'd say compared to some of the abilities that we've seen of the other vehicles, doesn't look like it's that much of a step up. But let's see what happens. Prove me wrong, community. All right, here we go. Object 432U. I think the 430 is the best medium tank at tier 10 for the random queue, so I'm very interested to see what the 432U will be like.
Search the Object 432U. It's the new crown of assault medium tanks, a compact and maneuverable vehicle.
Let's look at these stats. 460 alpha over the 440. Just a quick DPM check, QuickyBabs. Hold on. Oh yeah, gun loading. Okay, so it's 5 times 460. 2,300. Hold on, have I calculated that wrong? That seems very low. 2,300 DPM would be less. Hold on, 60 divided by 12 is 5 times by 460. Okay, something must happen with this vehicle's ability because that's really bad base damage per minute. That's really bad. 2,200 hit points, great. Penetration, that's the same, more or less, as the 430U. Speed is the same. Accuracy might be a touch better. Aim time might be the same. This looks very disappointing so far, but maybe the armor is going to be legendary.
With excellent armor. The gun is also very much made for assaults. The weapon is built for close combat and dishes out the pain with every shot, even without its special mechanic. But there's also thermoballistic overcharge.
Okay.
Pressing X heats the shell, increasing its damage.
Wow.
The beast has 3 stages. You can fire at any point and deal whatever bonus damage it's built up so far.
560 alpha? 560 alpha. Okay, that changes things. Okay, so if you have 560 alpha, then 5 times 560 is 2,800 damage per minute when the thing is absolutely cooking. But remember, what's going to happen when it fully cooks? That's the question. Does it lock out?
But it's better to shoot when the bonus is maxed out. Then the damage will reach over 600.
Oh my word, 600! Well, it's going to be 10% more, roughly, isn't it? 600? What was it? Times by 5? 3,000 DPM. Wow, 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 wow. 600 medium. That's insane.
100 HP.
But it looks like you only have about 3 seconds to fire when it's maxed out at 600.
Medium tank. For the first time, the game lets you sacrifice rate of fire for increased damage per shot.
Very
Shoot
interesting.
now, or wait for a few seconds and then hit even harder.
That'll be so big for those, depending... Imagine how useful this will be when there's a target and there's only one tank left and you know everyone's shooting it and you want to aim, and you want to kill steal. It'll be like the ultimate kill steal. Also, when you think about it, you'll be able to react to if a target goes down to just say low hit points. Or maybe you've got a friend who's got like 700 alpha and the target's got like 1,200 hit points and you wait, deliver it, and then you can allow them to be able to finish off the tank. I just thought to myself as well that, look, the DPM won't be 3,000 if you have to wait to cook the shots. So if you actually have to wait, it's not going to be you're not going to be firing like 5 rounds a minute, right? If that's the case, you're going to have a much longer reload than 12 seconds, but still a brutal tank. Brutal tank. Brutal tank.
Our next hero can do a bit of everything, just like its predecessor, the Patton.
Show us.
XM69 Hacker is the embodiment of medium tank versatility. It rolls forward confidently and blocks...
Quick stat check. Okay, 420 alpha, just a big step up. 340 heat pen, I think that's... well, firstly, I don't know its heat. If it's APCR, it will be legendary. If it's heat, it's not that much of a step up over the previous vehicle. 2,200 hit points, fair. The speed, a little bit... about the same kind of speed as the Patton, I'd say. But yeah, 8.35 reloading means that we're going to have 60 divided by 8.35 times by 420. Hold on, did I mistype? Is that really 3,000 DPM on this tank? Okay, one more time. Divided by 8.35 times by 420. No, I didn't make a mistake. 3,000 damage per minute medium tank at tier 11. That is scary. With 420 view range as well, just like the Patton. 10 degrees of gun depression. That's a little bit better than the Patton by 1 degree. I should know, it's my most played tank. I hope I know at least, or I am embarrassing myself right now. But man, if my brain's rotting... Dude, I'm liking the look of these vehicles. But one thing I will say is that it just does feel like Wargaming are going, give them 10% more hit points. Give them 10% more alpha with the same rate of fire. And give them a little bit extra gun depression to make them more comfortable. And I understand that's the way that the game naturally goes. It's not like they're really revolutionizing the vehicles.
Damage like its life depends on it.
The abilities
it prefers to look down on opponents from higher ground, but holds its own in urban combat too. The Hacker can rightfully be called a rapid response tank, especially considering its mechanic.
Oh, baby.
The pneumatic
looks like you get crazy stabilization. So if you're someone who loves to use third person or you've got very good aim in first person on the move, this might be the tank for you.
Gyro stabilizer grants perfect stabilization.
Perfect.
Literally, press X to completely eliminate dispersion from any movement or traverse. You don't even need to wait to aim.
Yeah, who used vert stabs anyway, right? Oh my lord.
The ability is prepared quickly and lasts long enough for one accurate shot. You can choose where you want to roll out, instantly hit the bullseye, and disappear again while the enemy is still
wow.
aiming. The mechanic supports and enhances the Hacker's ability to swiftly react to any threat in any situation.
I wonder what the cooldown is going to be on it.
Think armor is boring?
Yeah.
Ready to go all in on speed and firepower? Then meet the AS-XX40T. This nimble tank is perfect for flanking.
Let's take a quick stat check. Okay, so this is the tier 10 bat chat right now. Okay, so working out the DPM is going to be a little bit complicated. It looks like it's got 5 rounds by the looks of it. 5-round autoloader, like the bat chat. 2,000 hit points, a little bit of a step up. 420 alpha means that this thing is going to have a big boy mag. Big boy mag. We're talking about 2,100 damage in a magazine now. I think that's broken. I'm just going to go out there. I think that's broken. I think that's broken. 9 degrees of gun depression. All of you know that the Char Future 4 is one of my favorite vehicles in the game. The Char Future 4 has 7.5 degrees of gun depression, which is 1.5 degrees more than the Batchat 6, which is why it feels amazing. The fact that they are giving this thing 9 degrees of gun depression, this will become a terrifying autoloader. A terrifying autoloader. The amount of different positions you'll be able to take this vehicle and get above your opponents, just work them over terrain, rather than it being a back chat, which is notoriously like an all-in tank where you fight your opponent along the flat and try to circle strafe them. Oh man, that thing's looking scary. 32 power to weight ratio, that's more like a light tank. Goodness gracious, this thing looks amazing.
And hit and run tactics, and it hits hard. Its 5-shell magazine can bring down an entire tank in a matter of seconds, and it doesn't have to wait for a long reload after.
God, look at the turret. The way that the turret is shaped, you're going to miss this thing's turret so much when you're shooting it from the side.
Its external ammunition supply module lets you manually interpret and resume magazine reload. You can load it fully or just throw in 2 to 3 shells, fire as many as you need, and then continue reloading whenever you're ready.
That's crazy. Imagine when you're in those high pressure situations where you only need like 2 shots to finish off a tank. You can just load 2 shots, go into the situation earlier, finish them off, and then start loading a full mag. Or you could be like super 5-head and be in a 1 versus 2 situation, maybe where 1 tank is a 2-shot and 1 tank's a 1-shot, and you could only reload 3 shells, go in, bang, bang, and then still have the extra one for the other tank. Or you're under a high pressure situation, your opponent has a long reload just enough shells, finish them off, and then go get the full mag in. The amount of opportunities that you get with this are staggering. It's kind of like all of the benefits of an auto reloader. I'm interested what the penalties are going to be.
Complete manual control. Just remember that the vehicle's turret is locked during reload, and the tank is unable to fire.
That's going to be awkward for designated target.
The ASXX never has to waste an entire magazine reload and take a long rest just because you fired a few shells. You decide how many shells are in your magazine. The mechanic doesn't use any additional buttons, just the familiar C key. Pressing it sends a clear signal to your opponents that you're reloading.
That's true.
Use it to bluff like a pro.
Wow.
Just days remain.
That's true. Imagine that. Imagine that you have you have an opponent, and let's say you can take 2 shots from them. You could start reloading the magazine and force them to engage you, and then deactivate the reload and then put the 2 shots that you had into them. So you could bluff them to engage around the corner. It also means, just like with an auto reloader, it's kind of forcing your opponents to attack you because you're only going to get stronger and more dangerous. Very, very interesting tank. I've just got to try and think it through as to how much better is this than an auto reloader. I don't think it's really going to be that much better than an auto reloader, apart from it will recover quicker when you've had to do a full mag dump. So it's like an auto reloader that never has to worry about going deep into the magazine. That's what it's going to be.
Before these tanks roll out onto the battlefield.
You excited? I am.
Choose your play style and get ready to reach a new level.
Rock and roll. Rock and roll. So there you go, ladies and gents. Let's go and just take a look on Wargaming's awesome webpage to take a quick look at maybe answer a few questions that we had in great detail. So for example, the Object 432's thermal ballistic charge. Clearly we've seen that it boosts up, and then you fire and then you do the alpha damage that you did. But let's take a look at the penalty that you get from the lockout. So as we can see here, it charges up to 560. The player fires, rolls for 534. But what happens if you go too far? What happens? So there's a timer that once you reach that 560, you only have 3 seconds to use that 560 alpha. Otherwise, it looks like it locks out for 6 seconds. So it looks like it locks out for 6 seconds. So what this means is that when you see like that extra charge flare out, you know your opponent is going to shoot you in the next 3 seconds. And then they get a lockout for 6 seconds, and then I guess they can fire again immediately afterwards. Interesting. Okay. So it's not like a disaster by the looks of it. I mean, the tank's reload is 12. So if Wargaming is saying that the lockout is 6 seconds, that's half a regular reload. So if you fail a shot by not getting the opportunity, it looks like you have half a regular reload before you can fire again, then instantly, I guess, and the alpha damage will be 420 or whatever it is. by default, or was it 460 by default? Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay. I think this tank will be very strong. But again, we're going to have to get it on the awesome TanksGG website to take a look at how the armor works. The Leopard Verbessert. This vehicle looks like it could be a little bit of a funky one. I do kind of worry a little bit that the Leopard at tier 10 might still be like the sweetheart. So it looks like it charges up the accurate shot, but I wonder what happens if you speed up again with the accurate shot charged. If you go over 30, does the ability... That's actually quite interesting. Shows you how much more accurate it is. If you go over 30, it looks like this tank's definitely going over 30 here. So if the vehicle's going over 30, I guess you don't lose the ability. I guess you can like charge it and then it stays on even when you're driving quickly. That's funky as well. Absolutely funky. But I think maybe this one might be one of the least interesting ones for me personally, just to have the better gun handling. The Szakal, this vehicle looks like an absolute enigma to try and figure out and try to work through. This one looks crazy. So you can use the turbo boost to go at 86. I'm wondering if that's them using a turbo on this tank already. But that looks like this might be the fastest medium tank in the game, going at 86. And then you charge your damage bar, I guess, by... How do you charge your damage bar? It looks like it fills up naturally and by doing damage to the enemy vehicle. And it looks like it also fills when you track your opponents as well. So all hits will charge the bar by the looks of it. And then once you use it, your reload changes from 8 seconds... I guess that's just... Let's see what the default reload is. Okay. So the reload switches from 8 seconds to 6.39 seconds. 6.39 seconds. Wow. Okay, let me work out what that will be on DPM then. 6.39. So we've got the alpha damage. 60 divided by 6.39 times by the alpha, which is 430. 4,000 damage per minute while the vehicle's using its maxed out ability. 4,000. And that might... I'm not sure if that's with them using a gun rammer. All there is to say is that is going to be a scary vehicle. A scary vehicle to use. Terrifying, terrifying, terrifying. And then the French vehicle, I think this one was explained very well inside the video. What we've got to really ask ourselves with this vehicle is reloading making your vehicle look obvious? Let's take a look to see what the switch times are. Okay, so what we see here is that if you deactivate the loading process, it's 3 seconds to switch before you can then turn your gun and start firing. But what this also shows is that you actually lose the shell that you were reloading. So if you want to min-max, you might want to stop reloading after you finish reloading a shell so that you don't interrupt the reload process. And it looks like the vehicle, after it fires, has a very... It takes 5 seconds for it to start loading. 4.5 seconds for it to start loading again. Wow, 4.5 seconds. But then it actually reloads the shells very quickly by the looks of it. We're talking about the reload starts at 32 seconds and it's finished reloading a shell at 26. That's 6 seconds reload. Holy moly. That's crazy. So it looks like it has quite a long time to be at that 4.5 seconds to get there, but the actual reload process looks like it's very quick for 5 shells, and then deliver them all over again. And you can use intuition by the looks of it as well to be able to switch out the whole mag, so it's not stopping you from doing that. Interesting, 2.6 seconds intra-clip reload. I think the bat chat is 2.74 as far as I can remember. So that looks like a very interesting mechanic there. And then the final vehicle that we looked at was the Hacker. This vehicle looks like an absolute beast at shooting on the move. Gosh, look at how that snaps in. And you can easily fire 1 shot and you can fire a 2nd shot as well. So you can get 2 shots off with maximum precision. This will be amazing for either those clutch situations where you don't want to sit still, or you have to hit a very fast moving target, or you want to be able to shoot them with perfect precision while you're moving. It'll be amazing for advancing into position and engaging lightly armored tanks that you can still pen without having to hit weak points. Amazing, terrifying tank. Imagine how irritating it will be to try and stop a hacker from progressing as well at you and trying to take that ridgeline. Think about when you're rushing on a map like Tundra, or you're rushing on a map like Mines, or you're rushing on a map like Fisherman's Bay, where you're trying to rush into position, or Corellia. You know, when both teams are trying to contest the medium tank flank on Corellia? Imagine that you will be able to use that ability and fire 2 shots with precision against your opponent, already giving yourself an advantage before you've got into position, then to then be able to hopefully brawl them out of the scenario. Looks like a very strong tank. So all in all, ladies and gents, boys and girls, the medium tanks look fabulous. I'd say the least interesting for me would probably be the Verbessert, but that's just maybe a little controversial. I'm sure that some of you all think it looks awesome. I'd say then the Hacker probably looks the least interesting after that. I'd say then probably the 432, and then I think it's a tie between the 2 fast ones, the the ASXX40T and the Szakal. Looks like they could be the 2 really, really funky, interesting ones for high-end players to want to sink their teeth into, right? Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was my look at all of the tier 11 mediums inside World of Tanks. Really hope this video was useful for you. If it was, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And let me know in the comments down below what you think about all of the tier 11 mediums. Do you think they look absolutely incredible? Do you think they look absolutely awful? 1 weekend left. Enjoy it. Whatever you're doing, if you're getting stuck in on the battlefield like Uncle QuickyBaby is, good luck. I have an Excel spreadsheet trying to grind as hard as I possibly can to get all these vehicles. Looking forward to it. Wednesday is nearly here for the EU server. Let's get it on. Have a lovely weekend, whatever you get up to. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.